Hey guys, it's the WalterFootball.com After Dark show for May 15, 2024. We're going to be doing our picks, our DFS picks and bets for the PGA Championship, which is this weekend. We did the show for the Masters about a month ago. We had some great ideas there, I thought, and I thought, why not run it back and just do the show, and hopefully we get the winner and some good DFS results here. So. Before we introduce the panel, I'm going to say please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. All that will help us out a lot. If you really want to help support the show, we have super chats and super stickers. You guys have been really helpful recently. I've been talking about how if we don't get any super chats, super stickers, these YouTube ads pay nothing, and we get like 73 cents a show, which can't buy. Actually went to McDonald's to make sure. It can't buy a McDonald's cheeseburger anymore. It used to be 59 cents a burger when I was in high school. Some of you guys might remember, but no, this is laughing. Now McDonald's cheeseburger is $2.69. So we actually have to do 3.5 shows to afford a McDonald's cheeseburger. If you guys really want to help us out, these super chats, they go a long way. We had some great ones last week with Slew, John Sanders, Degeneron, Germ, Kevin Kovac, probably missing someone, but you guys would, if you guys want to keep supporting us, that'd be awesome. Also, another way to support us is to buy my book, Jerks of the College Years. It's available on Amazon. If you like Jerks of the Week, you might want to consider Jerks of the College Years. It's basically Jerks of the Week, but with my stories from college. I spent 6 years at Penn State, so as you can imagine, I had a lot of weirdos that I ran into, a lot of funny stories. They're all in this book. You can buy it on Amazon, Jerks of the College Years. So without further ado, let's introduce the panel. We have Jacob Camenker from the Sporting News. Jacob, how are you?
I'm doing great. I am happy to be here, and happy to be here with the 4-man group, see if we can come up with some good ideas for this PGA Championship. I've been plugging away the numbers in the model. I'm sure I'll get a lot of super chalky favorites that we'll have here, but maybe I'll pull out a couple of sleepers that maybe won't be as highly owned here.
Sounds good. Also joined by one of the two golf guys, Nuggets. Nuggets, how's it going? And I think you enjoyed my McDonald's cheeseburger references there.
I did. I haven't had McDonald's cheeseburger I don't know how long, but when you said the 6 years of college at Penn State, immediately I went to 7 years of college down the drain. To quote a classic movie, but I was like, you know what? Walter got there at 6. We're good.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think this PGA Championship is wide open. I think there's some interesting cats. Brooks is defending champion. I think there's going to be some very interesting ways to go. I've been building all day. There's some stuff I love. There's some stuff I hate. Happy to get into it, and hopefully we can bring home some good picks for everybody.
Yeah, I didn't need that 7th year like Van Wilder did. Got there in 6 somehow. And then last but not least, Butters. How are you doing, Butters?
I'm doing good, and I actually only got 5.5 years of undergrad, so I close but no cigar, I guess. So I also am looking at your comments here, and it looks like you got 1 ratings on your Jerks of the College Years. So it looks like people haven't, the Jerks haven't figured out your book yet to write you some nasty ratings there. But maybe they would think it's also funny. So,
well, yeah, we got 1 rating. It's 5 stars, so 5 out of 5. So
was it a comment at all, or was it just a 5 out of 5?
No, I think someone left a review, and they love the book. So. One review, and it's 5 out of 5. It must be the best book ever. So if you guys want to check it out, I think you guys should definitely do that.
It's on track to be the best book ever based off that review. It's like whenever someone hits 2 homers on the first day of MLB season, they're on pace for 324 homers. It's always cool, right?
Yeah. So
is this the scene in Dogma where like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck go like, what's going to be the highest grossing movie of all time, Star Wars or whatever opened against Star Wars? And time will tell, mother. Time will tell.
Yeah, if you translate to football, it's like 4 touchdowns in the first week, and you're on pace for 68 touchdowns. So that's how we're going here. So it's an amazing book according to the rating. So you guys want to check it out, feel free.
I also wanted to report that Taco Bell is also still cheaper than McDonald's. You can get a couple items there for $1.59. So
yeah, I was
And my wife just bought your book.
Oh, nice.
I just got the Amazon alert. I'm like, God damn it.
That's awesome. Well, hopefully we'll have a second review. That's a 5-star review. We'll see. No, I was referencing McDonald's because I remember in high school they used to have 59-cent cheeseburgers, and I used to go there just because I swam all the time and it needed the calories. And like I used to get 4 cheeseburgers, fries, and chicken nuggets. And like 4 cheeseburgers now runs less than 1, which is crazy. Like 1 now is $2.69. 4 back then was what, $2.36. Like I think that's insane, but it's another topic for another time. Something we can probably discuss with Tom on Saturdays. But we have a comment here, Earth Human, saying if you aren't betting Scotty, bet the winner without Scotty market because he's winning. Yeah, we'll see. And then Mike is hanging out with us. Hey, Mike, how are you? All right, so let's jump into the DFS here, and then as we go, we can talk about guys we like to bet. Thought we'd segment this in groups, but I feel like there's one guy at the top, Scotty Scheffler. He's 13-2. I think he deserves his own commentary because I feel like you go one or two ways. You go Scheffler lineup, or you go starting without Scheffler. And when we were doing the Masters show, I was saying I love Scotty Scheffler. I think he's going to win. And I was going to build I play single entry. I'm like, I'm going to build a lineup with Scotty Scheffler. And if I was playing 150, I would definitely go over whatever the projected ownership was. Here is different because he's obviously the favorite to win for a reason. But this course, I feel like it's the third longest course on tour. Scotty Scheffler, like he's an elite irons player, is elite around the green, but driving wise, he's not elite. He's still good, but he's not elite. And so I think that he can out of all the major locations, I think like this is the one where he can be beaten. That said, I still think he's the pick to win. But at 13-2, that kind of makes me want to go elsewhere. So whereas like during the Masters, I was definitely playing him in one lineup. But here I am not. I'm not going to be playing Scheffler. Could burn me, but he's very expensive. So let's go left to right here, starting with Jacob. Like, are you going to play Scheffler if you do one lineup, or if you do 150? Like, how much are you playing Scheffler here?
Yeah, so I will play Scheffler, but again, like you, probably not in my single entry. He's coming out at number 1 in my model, but what I'm looking at is who else up there, who else near the top of my model is cost similar to him. I've got a couple of other guys in the 10K plus range that are up near the top of this that I think are better plays this week than Scheffler, because it allows you to build a more balanced approach. But I will be betting Scheffler because I think just with the heater he's on, I mean, he's won 4 of his last 5 starts, and he finished his lone start. He did not win. He finished tied for second. So he's going to be near the top. It's just a matter of, is this going to be a week where he is able to pull off the win? I'm just not convinced that's going to happen. I think the competition this time is going to be a little bit stiffer. I think guys like Rory McIlroy, Brooks Koepka, Jon Rahm, all these guys seem to be rounding into really good form right now. And all it takes is one unbelievable week for any of them to unseat Scheffler, even if Scheffler stays really, really hot. So I think if I'm making a betting card for this, I am 100% betting Scheffler now because I don't know that you're going to get a better number. If he stays near the top, his odds aren't going to get better than the 4 or 5 to 1 you're getting, depending on how you shop around. But in DFS, where he's more expensive than these top tier guys, I'm probably going to look to play some of the other guys ahead of him, just because I don't think this time it doesn't seem like he's guaranteed to win. He absolutely could, but I think the competition this time around is a little stiffer.
Nuggets, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm in lockstep with Jacob here. I mean, I couldn't agree more about Scotty. I'm definitely betting him. My problem is, again, I mean, he's so damn expensive. I feel like I'm playing like a showdown slate, and he's like the captain. And it's like the money is just ridiculous when it comes to him, because if you try building the Scotty lineups, you immediately have to forget about 10K, forget about 9K. You're starting in like the 8s and 6s. Like it gets so cost prohibitive to play him. Yeah, he might win it, but if you could find a way to get like the second and third place, you'll make up for that, right? Because I mean, the finishing points will balance out. Heck, if you can find a way to get second and third, I mean, because Scotty finished what? He finished third in this last, or he tied. Sorry, he tied Victor last year, and when Brooks won it, right? But I mean, Scotty at -7 isn't going to get it done for you at 13-2. Like if he was 10-2, we're talking a much different story. But 13-2 for me, I mean, I'm playing probably 30 entries in the Millie $25. I won a ticket for the 4-4-4-4, so I'm going to play in that. But Scotty will not be in that lineup. I can't do it. I need to go more balanced on this one for me. I mean, I understand the pros and cons, but like Quail Hollow in Valhalla is just a weird freaking course, man, and I just can't do it with Scotty. So, but we'll get into that. So, but anyway.
All right, Butters, where are you on Scheffler?
So I'm certainly not gonna fade him. So I'll have a little bit of exposure, but I wanted to give a shout out to Adam from Vince Rex. There's a tweet that he sent out saying, let me pull that back up here again, that if you don't hit a fairway on hole 6, I believe it said, that you should pretty much blacklist him. And of course, him with being boots on the ground looked at that and saw that he missed it. He's like, oh no, we might have a chance to bet against him this week. So, you know, there's a lot of narrative that, okay, he's just coming back from his wife just had their first child, so maybe he's tired. I mean, he's rich, so they probably have a nanny to help out here in this case. But he's the number one player in the world, so of course I can't fade that. But if there's, and certainly it can just bounce back from being maybe a little bit of rust, but when it comes to lineup construction, I mean, I'm going to have a little bit of an exposure, but it is a high salary there that you have to foresee him being the top 5. Otherwise, it might not be worth it. So I just can't completely fade him. I'll have a little bit of exposure, but from reading what I've been reading about people that have been there this week and saw him play, it's almost a kind of a trend downward, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is not a great course for him. I don't think he can separate himself, or like he may not be able to separate himself from other golfers like he did at the Masters. It kind of reminds me of I don't know if you guys ever saw this, but it was the Jeopardy run that James Holzhauer went on, that better, where he kept winning, and it was insane how he kept winning. And they tried to actually get him off the show by making the questions harder, and it just didn't work because he just kept winning. And the game where he finally lost, so they actually made the questions super easy that everyone's actually able to answer. And so I think this golf course is kind of easy for a major championship. So I think that the rest of the group might be closer to him, and so that's one reason. Another reason, as Butters brought up, you know, he just had his first baby, and I'm sure they have a nanny, but there's no escaping that father chair in the nursery. It is absolutely brutal. Butters and Nuggets definitely know this. It's like the most uncomfortable thing in the world. Like I felt like when we had our first baby, my back felt like it was going to break. I already had a bad back, and it was the worst. And I actually brought a sleeping bag to the hospital for the second child. So my wife gave me a little grief for that, but I was like, no, there's no way I'm going back in that chair again. So I don't know if Scotty brought his sleeping bag or anything like that. I don't have any inside info on that, but
you kidding me? Scotty had like a custom wing of the hospital done just for him.
That's right. Yeah. That's
all the money he's got. It's stupid money.
He bought the whole hospital. Come on now.
But then again, he may not know about it though. Like he may not know. He's like, oh, the chair looks kind of comfortable. It is the worst thing in the world. So if his back is kind of tweaked out, maybe that's why he missed the fairway there. It's a reason to go against them. All right. So if you're not starting your lineup with Scheffler, I mean, you have a lot of other choices. You have Rory. you have John Rahm, you have Xander Schauffele, Brooks Koepka, Ludwig Oberg, Colin Morikawa, Patrick Cantlay at 10K and above. I mean, I feel like most of these are good choices. Oberg, I'm out on because the knee injury. He withdrew in the last tournament. I don't know how serious it is, but that's enough to get me off of this. Like, I feel like you don't have to play him. Like, there's so many other good options. Like, why risk it with the knee? Cantlay, just don't trust him here. Morikawa, I feel like this is not a great course for him. So I'm stuck with McIlroy, Rahm, Schauffele, Koepka, and then I kind of remember how Schauffele chokes all the time, but he's probably like destined to finish in the top 5. Just like, I wish you could bet him to finish in the top 5 and not win. I feel like I would like those odds. McIlroy just had divorce, so if you look at history, the last time he got separated, like, he's actually done pretty well, and he just won the Wells Fargo and he won the Zurich with the team contest with Shane Lowry. I like John Rahm though. I think this is a great course for him, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be off of him. He's 20-1 to win, which is insane because his odds were so much better for the Masters, and now he's 20-1. I feel like no one's going to want to play him, and I think this is like I said, it's a fantastic course for him. So I might start my lineup with Rahm. Of course, you have to look at Koepka. He's basically the majors hunter. Like, he has 5 already, and this could easily be 6. He just won in Live Golf Singapore. Now, granted, like Live, they play some sketchy courses like the Goofy Golf. I think that's in like July. They play there in New Jersey, so you can't really like rely on those results. But I think I'm gonna play Rahm as my top guy here, just because he grades out so well for me. But I really could go with McIlroy or Koepka as my top guy. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so I agree with you. The way my field ranking shaping out, I have Scheffler at 1 because he tops my model. And again, he's on such a great run that I just don't feel comfortable not putting him at number 1. Now, these are not published yet, so I apologize if I get the order wrong, but I'm pretty sure in order I have McIlroy, Koepka, Rahm, and Schauffele. And I like all of them. I would consider playing all of them. But like you said, Xander has a tendency to choke. That hurt me last week because I had him number 1 in my model, and he lost on the last day despite having a lead many times in that tournament. So I think you can get away with playing him, and he might be solid. And, hey, maybe this is the time he finally pulls through. But I'm really interested in Rory. I know he's the most expensive of the bunch, but I'm buying into a little bit of that narrative about he's been kind of jilted. He's dealing with the divorce. The PGA Tour board of policy didn't let him back on it after he had resigned and he wanted to come back. So I think he's probably a little PO'd about that in addition to what's going on in his personal life. And as you mentioned, Walt, he's in good form right now. He won at the Wells Fargo. He looked great. I know he's won that event 4 times. So this is kind of a whole different animal here at Valhalla, but I still think I like him a lot. I think this is going to be a great fit for him. And because he's just so long off the tee, I think he ranks 2nd on the tour in driving distance. And the guy in front of him, I don't think plays as much as him. I can't remember if it's Kevin Doherty or someone else, but I just think he has the ability to shorten the course better, and his accuracy has been better of late. So I like the idea of backing him here. I'd be totally comfortable with Rahm or Koepka too. I mean, this is Koepka's major. He's won it 3 times, and he's won it back-to-back before. So if anyone likes those 2 better, I think that's fine. But I'm going to be rolling with Rory here. And on Aberg, I 100% agree with you. If he was fully healthy, I would have a lot of interest in him because I think that he's on the verge of a breakout. But when you don't have to trust a player dealing with an injury, you shouldn't. If he was cheaper, if he was in the upper 9K range, I might say, yeah, I'll play him, get some differentiation, and it's a boom or bust play. But at 10-5, I think I'll skip him this time, and I'll closely monitor him to see how healthy he is because he is going to win at some point this summer. I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Yeah, I agree. Nuggets, what do you think?
Nah, again, Jacob and I feel like we did like the Spock mind meld because, I mean, I honestly, like, he literally said everything I was going to say. I mean, Rory to me, I mean, he went on that crazy heater when he broke up with like Caroline whatever her name was, the tennis player,
Wozniacki.
right? And he won like, yeah, Wozniacki. And he won like 4 tournaments in a row right after he broke up with her. So I'm kind of feeling like that's gonna, like, he's he's free of all his women problems, and now he's just gonna like go out and like destroy people, and he's all pissed off. I could see
He
that.
still has a
right?
child,
Like,
though.
well, it doesn't matter. He's still gonna. I mean, I used to say Rory was like a bitch quitter, but like honestly, I kind of think like when he's like free and clear of women, like he's like, I'm just gonna focus on this stuff, and I don't need distractions. Like, and this is where I kind of go to where I like him. I like Brooks, because I think Brooks is coming in good form too. But then you kind of look at the rest of this range, and it gets really weird quick. I mean, Xander's great. I mean, I built a model too, but Brooks didn't appear in my top 20 in my model, which kind of freaked me out. But when I applied the fact that the course is still going to play long in the bluegrass rough, right? He appeared in my top 10. I'm kind of like, do I really want to go off of that, or do I want to go off of like the full model? And I mean, it was Scotty, Xander, Rory were my top 3 in the model, and then Rom and Hideki. I can't trust Hideki because I think he's going to bitch quit, right? Because I mean, just like last week, right? He was just like, "Oh, my back hurts, I'm out," right? And just like Abear, I can't trust him either. So I think there are already 2 guys I'm crossing off my list. So maybe you start lineups with Brooks and Xander, or maybe you do a Brooks Rory. I mean, it's not as bad as Scotty, but I mean, you're looking at what, 6,800? It's still a lot. So maybe you kind of have to sacrifice one there to the gods. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you have to play. You have to get creative, right? But I mean, there's plenty of guys in the 6 and 5s that can work. But it's still like, do I really rely on who's the guy? The guy last year who set a course record. What was his name? The dickhead that like at the U.S. Open. What was his name?
Michael Block.
Thank you. Yeah, that dude.
Yep.
I don't want to rely on a Michael Block to win me a milli.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
doesn't sound great.
No, it doesn't. However,
No.
I am celebrating. My cousin just scored a goal in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So,
Oh, your cousin?
Oh,
yeah, Ryan Nugent Hopkins, my cousin. He finally scored a freaking goal.
Is that
Yeah,
your
he's
actually?
only-
I mean, is that your actually?
No.
I mean,
No BS. He's my second cousin once removed. But and whenever the Oilers come into town, I get to hang out with him, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, salt of the earth dudes. Like, not like, oh, I'm McJesus, I'm not going to hang out with you. No, he's like, yeah, let's go grab a drink. I'm like, all right.
That's awesome. It's cool. You get to hang out with your family member in sports. I don't. Apparently, my third cousin is Julian Edelman, and I found out. I was getting my haircut. My mom used to be a hairdresser, and like I was getting my haircut at my parents' house, and my dad comes in, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, anything happened in sports today?" This is a few years ago. Remember when Edelman tore his ACL in the preseason?
And I cried because it was in Detroit, and I was like, "Oh crap, the season's over."
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, Julian Edelman tore his ACL." And my dad goes, "Oh, it's a shame. He's your third cousin," and he just walks away. I'm like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" And so,
we got to make this connection happen.
Yeah, and like later, I'm like, "Wait, what do you mean?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I know his parents. Yeah, he's your third cousin." I'm like, "Why didn't you tell me this before?" Like, I just had no idea. Anyway, Butters, what do you think about this 10K range?
I'll tell you this. I might be putting my balls on the table and locking Brooks.
Nice. Why is that?
So it's close. It's close to a lock, but, winning is winning the most recent event at Live. It's just setting up to exactly his run from last year when he came into the Masters, almost won, and then he came in and won last year at the PGA. It feels exactly like last week. And plus with the rain coming in here, it's going to kind of make the course a little bit tougher. And Brooks does well when you have tougher environments. So, I mean, he's a big game hunter as well. He can really win any of these majors. However, just because the elements are kind of coming through as well, where it kind of makes people make mistakes, that's to his benefit as well, especially on a course that's, from what I've been reading, really shouldn't be a major course. That it looks like, from what I've been hearing, it could just be a huge birdie fest. But this rain could also just, instead of making the ball bounce, it could just actually stick on the fairways and stick on the greens as well. So you won't get any healthy bounces. So he's just got that mentality where he's ready to win. And also, he just took some shade to Rory here today with the news that Rory filed for divorce. And he just goes out on his Instagram and just posts a picture of his wife in the bikini. He's like, yep, he's focused.
That's
I mean,
right?
if that was my wife, I'd post that picture too. I mean, let's be honest.
That's funny. Koepka, by the way, is 16-1 on FanDuel, as I saw. So is Rahm, but Rahm is 20-1 on Bookmaker, which I think is a terrific number for him. I didn't post my bets yet. They will be up by Wednesday morning. But I think Rahm was going to be in my card. But I'm with you, Nuggets. Like, Koepka didn't make it into the top 20 in my model either, which I was like really surprised about. Where is he exactly? He is 28th somehow, which is concerning. But like, then again, it is hard to get the live data, and you don't know how legit it is. So I didn't know what to make of that, but yeah. So I think for me, I think Rahm came in third in my model. Rory came in fifth. So I want to start in my line with one of them, but I could definitely see Koepka doing it. I mean, like he's had the great success in the majors before. So yeah. So let's get to the 9K range here. So we have we start off with Cam Smith. I just don't think this is a good course for him for him. Max Homa 9,700. Bryson DeChambeau 96. He had a great run at the Masters. Wyndham Clark 94. Joaquin Niemann 94. Justin Thomas 93. Victor Hovland 92. Zalatoris 91, and then Cameron Young 9,000. Always have to see if that's Cameron Young or Carson Young, but not this time really. So for me, I like DeChambeau a lot. I think this is a great course for him. He can really bomb it off the tee, and I think like the weakest part of his game is around the green. I think like this course around the green is pretty easy, so I think that should be fine for him. Any course that requires power, you have to look at Wyndham Clark. He won a major here last year. Oh, not here last year, but he won a major last year. So he can certainly get it done. Joaquin Niemann has been outstanding. He has 3 wins today, 3 wins this year, 2 on Live, 1 on the Euro Tour. And his numbers are off the charts. I mean, look at these finishes: 7th, 3rd, 22nd, but 9th, 4th, 1st, 30th, 1st, 4th, and 1st. This guy's been on a tear this year, and it felt like a lot of people loved him going into the Masters. And I think just because he didn't do well at the Masters, I think people are gonna cool off on him and just kind of avoid him. Justin Thomas ranked pretty high for me in my model. I don't want to play him though over the other guys. I wish he was a little bit cheaper, but he could definitely get there. I've heard a lot of people love Victor Hovland this week, which is this is a great course for him for sure. Like this is an amazing course fit, but it feels like his game's broken. I don't like 9,200 for a guy who hasn't finished above 19th this year. I don't know. I think that's a little too much. But I could definitely see the appeal because of the course fit.
I have a take on Hovland when it gets to my turn. So
okay, all right. Looking forward to it. So
let's have Butters lead it up because I want to hear this because I might have the contrarian side of that.
Okay, all right. Butters, why do you love Hovland, and who else do you like in this 9K range?
No, I'm against Hovland because
okay.
Yeah, I'm against him because I'm feeling that at the end of last year, people were betting future bets that he was going to win a major this year, and I think people are just so stuck on it that they're like, okay, I gotta bet on him. He hasn't played well. I mean, he hasn't played in. Well, his first event was last week. It was the first time in about a month, and he hasn't even been practicing. And then he shows up and. Okay, sure. He had a T24 at a kind of an easier course. He hasn't been playing very well. He hasn't been showing up at practice. He's not dialed in. I'm not spending $9,200 on someone that's gonna maybe top 20, top 30, and just because people have that narrative that he's still gonna win a major this year when he hasn't really been dialed in. No, I'm off him.
I like that. I like that. I think you're right. Because people are just trying to like will it to happen, you know. But I mean, Nuggets, you had it. You said you had to take on Hovland as well. Do you agree with Butters?
Yes, and I mean the thing about Hovland is like I feel like if he's like in it, like almost like a JT, right? Like if he's in it, he's gonna be in it. But like if he like screws up the first day or like he has a early tee time and he's like a +1, he might just check out. I feel like he's the modern day Hideki. Like he had a new swing coach show up, and like I don't know. Ever since the Memorial that he won last year, which he beat Denny McCarthy, and thank you for that because I had an outright on Victor Hovland, so I always respect. Oh, be quiet, Jacob.
I had a lot on Denny McCarthy at like 150 to 1 odds, so I was hurting in that tournament.
Hey, you don't need distance this week, so I mean, Denny McCarthy could be live.
I mean, I think Denny is live this week. That's a whole other story. We'll get into that. Jacob, I will send you some tidings to make you feel better because I am a good Bostoner and I will take care of my people. But what I will say is that, I think Hovland's a boomer bust. And I like him, but like at 9,200, I think I could do better money with him. Like if he's your last one in, cool. When I looked at my model, I mean, he finished 8th in my in the top 20. So I kind of can't ignore that. But at the same time, like I'm not gonna like say like it's Hovland or bust, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jacob, where do you stand on Hovland and also the other guys in the 9K range?
Yeah, so I'm out on Hovland for now. That swing change they've been talking about a lot on PGA Tour Live, and
yeah.
I
so
think
I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
No, you're not. You're not crazy. No, not at all. They've been talking about that a lot, and I don't understand exactly why he felt the need to change his swing after winning the FedEx Cup, but some guys are always trying to tinker with their game to make it better from whatever perspective. But he just hasn't figured that out yet. So he could absolutely break through at any point. He's immensely talented, and I know in the last 2 seasons in particular, anytime we were doing our models, Walt, felt like Victor Hovland was a staple of the top 10. He doesn't crack that for me right now, but eventually he'll figure it out. I just don't want to bet on it happening at this course, even if it is a little easy for a major course. I'm with you on Wyndham Clark and Bryson DeChambeau. Both of those guys have the power needed to this is a longer course where you don't necessarily need the distance, but it can help shorten things, make your approach shots easier. And they've both had hot stretches recently, so I'm going to be willing to back both of them. I think I ranked them 7th and 8th in the field for me. My model has I think Wyndham Clark's 8th in my model, 7th in my field. DeChambeau is not in my model because I don't have live golf data enough, but he's 8th in my field rankings. I think both of them are very good plays, and I think they're going to be really good value anchors in the right lineup. I also wouldn't rule out Cameron Young entirely. I know he hasn't been as sharp this year, but he's another type of big game hunter, like you referenced Brooks is, Alex. I know that Cameron Young hasn't quite gotten there yet.
He can't
but he can't putt this year, that's for sure. That's the big issue. But I still have a feeling that he might end up near the top of the leaderboard at some point. So at 9K, I'd consider him, but I think Wyndham Clark and Bryson DeChambeau are the better options here.
One thing I will say about Hovland too is some of the people that I follow have been saying that they haven't even seen him on the practice course all day today. They saw his caddy, but they didn't see him. So what does that say? I mean, is his mind even there? Like, why, if he's not even out there practicing, why is he even there? Like, I get that this is an easier course and maybe he feels like he's already figured it out. But I mean, if you're going to go into a course still blind, that's not a winning mentality.
So is this a Tom Brady situation where, like he said, when he was getting a massage from Guerrero, he's like, people just expect the Patriots to roll out the helmets or we're going to win, right? Is this a Hovland thing where he's like, I'm just going to show up and I'm going to win?
Yeah, it's like, but didn't Jason Day do that after he won a tournament last year? He showed up and he's like, I'm not practicing. And
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't
he
that
was,
Craig
he was
Ranch?
awful. Sorry, what did you say?
Wasn't that Craig Ranch or the Byron Nelson last year?
Yeah, whatever. I forget what he won, but then like the next tournament was a major, and then he was like, "Oh, I don't need to practice," and he didn't make the cut. I remember betting him not to make the cut, and he missed it by one stroke. So yeah, I can't get behind Hovland. Nuggets, who do you like in this 9K range?
Oh, this 9K range is terrible. Honestly, I mean, I'm a little jaded because I got I just picked some elite Rainmaker cards. So like I just landed a Zalatoris and I landed a Joaquin Neiman and a Wyndham Clark. So I'm a little kind of biased towards that. But honestly, like if you're picking Rory or Scotty, like the 9Ks get ignored. So this becomes a really hard range to kind of pick because if you pick like a Scotty and Bryson, then you're automatically down in like the 7-6s, right? Your lineup becomes so hard to build. So I mean, maybe the super contrarian way is like say screw everybody out of the 10Ks and build here in the 9s and pick like 3 9K guys that are going to kick ass. So you could do like a Homa, a Bryson, a Wyndham Clark, and you're still like now you get to pick 3 7K guys, which is a lot better than being forced into like the dregs of the 6Ks. I mean, maybe there's something there. I mean, I'm still building as we're talking, but I don't know. Maybe it's not the worst strategy in the world. I mean, maybe that's more of a Millie Maker format, probably on a single entry format way to go. But I don't know. As I'm thinking about this more and more, it's like, who is really going to win this? And I just don't see, with the exceptions of Rory and Scotty, who is really going to win this? And I think this field is super open. So.
Yeah, I'm going to be betting DeChambeau at around 30-1. I saw he's 29-1 on Bookmaker. It's going to look for other places.
I'm not afraid of his ownership at all.
Yeah, and the other guy I was looking at was Neiman, who's about 40-1. I didn't see Wyndham Clark's odds. I think they were a little higher from what I recall. Actually, no, they're 48-1. So I think he's under consideration as well. I feel like all three guys can beat Scotty. I mean, they've done it before. Clark won a major last year, as I said. Maybe not Neiman, but DeChambeau won. Then he won a major by like 6 strokes a couple years ago. So he's certainly proven that he can do it. So I like the strategy of either 3 9K guys or a 10K plus two 9Ks and then you have to go into the 6s for at least one player. But I do kind of like that build as well. Butters, who do you like in this 9K range? I mean, you mentioned Hovland not liking him, but who do you like here?
I like Bryson. Again, like I just said, I'm not afraid of his ownership. I know he's going to be popular based on last year and based on the Masters this year. You know, like I said earlier, with the rain kind of coming in, it kind of makes the course a little bit tougher. So I think at first it seemed like distance wasn't really in play because it's kind of a play with your irons. But he's been working on his irons too, and he's dialed in as well. He's been playing very well on Live Tour. He played very well at the Masters. He could have very well won it. Unfortunately, it was just his round one, which showed that he really showed up. But even with that distance, I mean, I think he's ready to finally win. So I'm not afraid of that ownership at all. From what I've been hearing from Neiman is that he's dialed in on practice, but again, he doesn't show up on majors. So what are you supposed to do? I mean, play with what your gut feels in that case. Do you feel like he's going to win? I have some other ideas on who's going to win. So can he top 5? Sure, I can see him doing that. But can he get over that slump that he had? So, for instance, he was doing so well on the Live Tour, and then he came to the Masters, and then that T22. Okay, but is T22 gonna ship you $1 million? No. So, I think this week again, you're not. I think you need to ignore fading someone just due to ownership. I think you can. I think you can organically get yourself different. Even if you're picking some chalkier plays, get different when you're on your last 5th and 6th player if you need to. So I'm not scared of playing Neiman, even though I don't think he'll win, but I think he can definitely contend for top 5. And you need that within a lineup, especially at 92 and especially at 9,400. Bryson, I think he can win. Will Zalatoris, I don't think this is a tough enough course for him to win. So I'm off of him. If this was tougher, I'd consider him, but doesn't seem like he's in the form that in shape and in form that he once was. Other than that, show me that list again.
Wait a minute, Willie Z's not in there? I mean, he played in the crappiest U.S. Open of all time with Sammy Burns. You don't think Willie Z can pull this out?
This is more like a birdie fest. That's just my opinion. I just don't think he's in form, and I have better ideas that I want to do. Clark has been burning me, so otherwise I would play him. But he's burnt me the last couple of weeks, and maybe by fading him, he'll burn me again. Who knows? But if I'm already looking at players who I think that have a bigger game, for instance, like Bryson, I'd rather go for Bryson than Clark in that case.
Yeah, I just I pulled a Wyndham Clark Rainmaker card, so he's going to do poorly, I think, the rest of the year. That's what happened to Sung Jae. So I remember getting a Sung Jae M card last year, and I was so excited for it, and then he just went on the slump. So I feel like any guy I get is doomed for failure. And as you can tell, the first time I was able to use it last week was this 47th place finish. Real quick on Neiman, you said that and you're right. I mean, he's never finished above 16th in a major, but I think that this golf course being oddly easy for a major, I think that could really benefit him, and maybe that's what gets him off the snide with these major the lack of major success. So I'm definitely willing to play him and also bet him at 40-1.
I think it's a great bet.
Yeah, I think so too. I think 40-1's pretty outstanding, and there could be even something better out there too.
Oh, and I also do not like the JT narrative for Kentucky. No, I have zero interest in that.
What is the JT narrative for Kentucky?
Because he's from Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
Can we also add, I mean, my personal hero is Steven Yeager, and I'm being offered right now for a legendary Rainmaker card.
Do it.
$450.
Do it.
But it's 55% below the floor.
He's the only person that, as of now this year, that has beaten Scotty.
I know. And Yeager, I bet every tournament this year.
Hold on. You have a Yeager legendary, and you're being offered
$450 for it.
Oh, you're gonna buy it, or
no. I'm being offered if I want to sell it.
Oh,
I would hold on to him.
I paid more for that.
Those offers are garbage. I check them every day, Nuggets, and they're always like, "Ooh, you could sell your card immediately at 70% off," and I'm like, "Why would I do that?"
So my other option is for a legendary card that I just pulled because we were talking about like how bad they are. Was David Lipsky?
Oh my
Ooh.
gosh.
Is he even on tour this year? Because they have a bunch of guys like they have John Ha was one of the because I won a Rainmaker prize pack this past weekend, and they're like 10 cards, and like 6 of them were good, and like 3 were just like not great but not terrible, and then there was John Ha in there. It's like why is he even here? He hasn't played golf since 2022.
You don't even go here.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on here? I was just praying not to get John Ha. Like it's a 1 in 10 chance that I would, but
So God hates you because he gave you John Ha.
no, I didn't get John Ha. Luckily, I got Keegan Bradley, I think. So
I think with the rain this week, I like Keegan Bradley.
Oh. No, but Nuggets, I'd pay more for that than for the Jaeger. So maybe we can negotiate something.
I feel better. I mean, I'll give you a friend discount to take it.
Okay. All right. We'll talk about it after the show. We have a comment here from Chris. Hey, Walt, important question here. Which of these golfers besides John Daly do you think could eat the most hot dogs over the course of 72 holes? Thanks. My bet is on Zach Blair. I remember watching him in the Zurich, and he was like this guy Fishburne, who's like this like tall, like blonde dude, and like he was jacked, and like he was hitting every shot, and then like Zach Blair would come up and just ruin things for him. And so for us short fat dudes out there, I am one of them. I think Zach Blair would win the contest. I don't know what you guys think.
Maybe this is why Rory filed for divorce, because his future ex-wife said he can't eat enough hot dogs.
Or more like the wife doesn't like his hot dog.
No, there you go.
I mean, he's already lost out to 2 world like competitors. I mean, like a tennis top 20 person. And then now this model that he lost to. I mean, like God. I mean, I weep for people in that situation. However, I will say though, I just pulled a Max Homa Royal Rare card.
Okay.
And then on top of that, then they gave me a Scott Stallings card, and he's out. So what the F?
Yeah, Stallings is the major bummer there. He's even like group 2 for some reason.
Isn't he more of like a trend, or isn't he more of like a seasonal kind of play, kind of like how like JT Poston did pretty well kind of later in the season? Isn't that when Stallings kind of picks up too? So he might be better later in the season.
Well, he's injured. He's out. He's been out. So
okay.
I don't even know when he's going to come back. That's the problem. It's like he's not golfing.
Wait, I can get $1,000 for Jaeger? Hold up. A Jaeger legendary is $1,000?
That
we
sounds.
We might have to talk.
That sounds about right.
Walter, I'll sell it to you for $700.
I'll think about it until after the show.
We'll talk about it at that point.
Okay. Those Royal Rare cards, by the way, I told this to Jacob. I would sell them, but not this week. Sell them this time next week on Tuesday, because they give you 2,000 franchise points for Rainmakers, and you'll get free money by this time next week, because they're doing a drop special.
I've got already got a Sanjay. I got a Kitayama. I've got now another. I got Max Homa and one more.
That's awesome. How many packs do you open to get all those?
Don't ask. Oh yeah, I have Sanjay. I have a Wyndham Clark Royal Rare.
Nice.
Okay, so long story short, I won a DFS tournament, made some money, blah blah blah, whatever. Decided to buy some packs, and then I think I sent you and Butters. Like I won some of those DK dollar packs. I've won now 600 DK dollar packs.
Mm-hmm.
So I just reinvested, and then I sold some of the elite cards that I got of crappy people like Luke List and who's the other one? I don't know, somebody else. Where I was like, crap, if I don't sell, I mean, they're basically the price of selling them is the price of a pack. but then I made it back in the Royal Rares. So it all kind of worked out. We're now almost 19,000 for my Rainmaker leaderboard.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you're gonna get a good prize money there. So that's awesome. Yeah, it's cool that you're just been like free rolling.
And I landed a bunch of these tickets. These I have 9 50K tickets for next week's tournament for this triple pack now.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's good or bad, but whatever.
It's 10K to first, and there's at most there's gonna be 2,000 people.
I have 9 of them. So guys, we might have a secret quiet meeting about this.
Yeah, awesome. I almost entered a couple of those.
And for the record, I will share the profits with the group. So
Chris asking the DK Donkey Kong packs. Does anyone know the market value of a Waluigi Mario golf card?
Actually, I do, and it's $23.97.
The $2,300 or $23.97?
$23.97 because Waluigi sucks.
Yeah, Waluigi's not great. I agree.
If it was a Wario first edition, you're looking at least $50.
Okay, I used to play a lot of Mario Golf. In fact, my friends and I used to drink and just play Mario Golf all the time, and then I would practice on my own just so I could beat their ass. So
the new Mario Golf is good. By the way,
I bought it. I don't. The problem is I don't have anyone to play it with. I just bought it for nostalgia purposes, and then I walked out of GameStop. I'm like, wait, I don't have anyone to play with.
Did you buy any GameStop stock?
I have some calls. I had a bunch of stock in my retirement accounts. I had 5 calls. I did 5 $40 calls that I bought when I was like $10. It's still there. I haven't sold them yet. But they're leaps. They're not just basic calls. They're leaps for January 2026. There's no theta decay there at the moment.
Because Roaring Kitty is actually he lives like 2 towns away from me. I know him.
You actually know him?
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's super chill, nice cat. Like you wouldn't be able to pick him out of a lineup, but like when I go talk to him, I'm like, dude, you're like internet fans. Like, yeah, I'm good. And he didn't broadcast for 3 years.
Yeah, he came back on Twitter just randomly.
Because of all the bullshit going on right now.
Yeah. But even before that, like there's so many call options being bought. I wonder if he was a part of that.
I will not confirm or deny that, Senator. All I will tell you is Roaring Kitty is a good dude who enjoys black coffee.
Okay. So they're asking Walt when the bet's coming out. They'll be out by tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning. They're usually out by Tuesday morning, but there was discrepancy with the course. That I entered my model and then I heard other things, conflicting things. So that's why I didn't release my bets, is because I would just want to make sure. But they will be out by Wednesday morning. Chris asking, how much does Roaring Kitty bench press? So I guess you have your inside info guy here.
He's a good dude. Not much. I mean, we're talking maybe 150, 160.
Okay.
He means well, but like, dude, the dude has like no upper I'm gonna I'd rather have Butters save me if I'm drowning in a pool than Roaring Kitty. How about that?
Fair enough.
I'd rather pick anyone on this panel to save me drowning in a pool than Roaring Kitty. I mean, the dude is super smart, but I need somebody with some arm strength, and that dude ain't got it.
I'm picking Walt to save me 10 times out of 10. Former swimmer. I also am not a good swimmer, so if you
that is fair. That is fair. I mean, I forgot about that part.
That's why I'm in high school and college, so I'll take up that role if someone.
If anybody ever needs a bullet or a lacrosse ball at their face or their body, I'm more than happy to jump in front. As a former lacrosse goalie, I'm more than happy to do that.
Nice. I used to play goalie in hockey, so I definitely know that.
I can't skate, so I was told.
Yeah,
there's a long story behind that. We'll get into it right now.
Okay. All right. Let's get to the AK range. We begin with.
These AKs suck.
Yeah, not too crazy about them. There's Matt Fitzpatrick 89, Jordan Spieth 88, Fleetwood 87, Hideki. Hideki's one of my favorites here, but that's not saying a lot because I don't really know.
Hideki's dead to me. Dead.
Yeah, he just bowed out last tournament. Screwed
He's
over a
gonna
lot of
bitch
people.
quit. He's gonna bitch quit again.
Yeah,
he might be doing the same again.
Yeah. Sam Burns 85. Okay. Shane Lowry 84. He might be one of the hot dog winners. Tony Finau actually graded out really well for me in my model, which kind of scared me. It's like, what's wrong with my model? But he did finish second at the Houston Open. He has a lot of talent. We'll see. Terrell Hatton also grades out well. I don't know if he's going to make it. Sahith Theegala disappointed last week. I don't know what happened to him over the weekend. He's just completely discombobulated. You have Dustin Johnson 8,000 and Patrick Reed here 8,000. So, Jacob, do you like anyone here? I'm not too crazy about anyone. Like I said, maybe Finau, maybe Hatton, but I'm only playing one lineup and I'm not getting to any of these guys. What do you think?
I definitely like Hatton at that price. I would consider him. I think here's my thought process with him. If you can afford him in your lineup, that's great. I'd be comfortable with that. But if I would focus on the higher spending guys first. I do like Sam Burns this week. I just think he's got a pretty well-rounded game. And I know we were talking kind of about Scheffler having just recently had his kid, so maybe that will distract him. I think it's going to have the opposite effect on Sam Burns. He seemed kind of a little bit out of it during the Masters and the Valspar when he missed both of the cuts. Then his wife, I think, had the baby. I don't know exactly when, but he's starting to see an uptick in performance. He was better at the Wells Fargo last week. I think he finished tied for 13th, and he was one of like 20 guys who was actually under par for the tournament. So that's pretty good overall. And I just think his well-rounded game is going to allow him at some point to be in one of these tournaments. So at 8,500, you're talking about a guy who is really, really good with the putter. So as long as he stays accurate, he's going to have a chance to make some birdies. And if it is a birdie fest, I like Burns to be kind of in there. So 8,500, I'd be willing to take a shot on him. He's kind of the standout in this range. I'm not going to go like super far out of my way to get him in my lineup, but he does, I think, crack my top 10, if not my top 12 in my field rankings. So definitely like him as a value pick sleeper type.
Nuggets, you express your disdain for this group. Do you like anyone at all?
I mean, from people who have made me money in the past, I mean, Burns will always have a special place in my heart from the match play where he just like kicked ass. But this was last year, not this year. And I think this year it's been tricky, right? For me, I hate to say it, and it's going to probably put me on like a bunch of freaking like crucifixes. Shane Lowry showed up 7th in my model, and I'm freaking out about it. I mean, I don't know if I can trust Fat Shane. I don't know, but I mean, he showed up 7th in my model, and then I look at the rest of the guys in this range, and I see Finau, and Finau finishes 9th in my model, and I'm like, and Errol finishes 12th, and I'm like, my God, these guys are great, but is it really worth it? I know it sounds weird, but like, is it worth just abandoning the 8Ks and going down to the 7s and 6s? Because if you're going to start building lineups that are like Rory, Scotty, I'm making it up. That right there is like 25K, right? And you only have 50K to play with. So now you have 4 spots and you got to figure out like 6K guys for 4 spots. Or do you just abandon Scotty and go Rory, Brooks? Okay. Now you're spending 19K and you still have 38K to deal with, right? If my math's right, 31K to deal with, right? You still have 68K, right? So now, okay, figure out who the other golfers are. It gets really tough really fast. So it's either you live comfortably and you say, screw the top tier. I mean, these are the 2 decision points in the tournament to me in DFS. It's either you say screw the top tier and you're gonna build 9K and below, and you could basically build the world, or you say I have to have Brooks, or I have to have Rory, or I have to have Scotty. Okay, great. What do you got left? Right? And that becomes your inflection point. For me, if you're doing an MME like 150, fine, whatever. I get it. But if you're doing like single entry, I think a more solid build is like the 9K, 8K range and go from there. But in this 8K range, nothing makes me like, oh my God, I have to play this guy.
Yeah. Butters, do you like anyone here?
So I like Fleetwood. I think he's a terrible outright bet. He's attractive, around 50-1 sort of thing, but I don't think he's going to win. I think if you want to bet him, you would bet him as top 5. So I can easily see him being top 5 at another major. So for DFS, that's great at his salary. So I think he's definitely a good consideration for DFS. But again, for outright bets, I wouldn't do it. For a top 5 bet, I would consider that. Don't like Hideki. Finau, I don't like him either. He always shows up on models that I'll take a look at. I take models honestly with a grain of salt, and he's always showing up there just a lot like Xander. Always looks so attractive, can't win. He did have some good streaks as well, but I just don't see him winning. I just don't see him caring. Kind of the same thing with Xander. It was just like, sure, he got himself in contention last week, but it's just like he just didn't care. Or when the spotlight hit him, he just can't finish. So I put Finau and Xander kind of in the same book as just like, if I'm going to play them, I'm going to play them because I think they're going to win. Right now, I don't see either of them two winning. So most likely a fade for me. Who else is out there? Hatton. Hatton looks like he could possibly top 10. I don't see him winning. He's been doing well on the Live Tour, but I just don't know if he can be dialed in completely for this game. Maybe the weather might help him a little bit, but maybe he might get angry at himself again, which he typically does.
He's my favorite player on tour right now. Like, he curses like I do. Like, I want to drink with this dude. If I can drink with you, I can bet on you. Like when he starts like throwing around like the C word about himself, where he's like, I can't believe I'm a C word because I missed that putt. Like, I want to hang out with that dude. Like, that's how I talk to my friends whenever I'm playing golf. Like, this dude, this picture is so bad because it's like the worst picture ever. It looks like Justin Rose. Like put a beard on and a hat, and that's really Errol Hatton. But this dude, like, I would party with this dude. Like, I would give a lot of money to just have a drink with this dude.
Does that factor into your model at all?
No, it didn't. But he finished 12th. So go figure.
Okay, yeah, I do like him. Like I said, I like him. It was one of my favorites in this range, but I feel like you can do better. Let's go to the 7K range here. We start with Jason Day, 79. Just had some success recently. Sung JM, 79, has been doing better recently as well. Benny Hanna, 7,800. Tom Kim, 78. Minwoo Lee, 77. Siwoo Kim, 77. Gooch is 76. Corey Connor, 76. Harmon, 75. Sepulon Straka, 75. Hogarth, 74. Fowler, 74. Scott, 73. Henley, 73. Bhatia, who we had at 66-1 in the tournament that he won, 72. Noren, 72. Jaeger, 71. Brought him up. I feel like this is a really good course fit for him. I have Jaeger ranked pretty favorably in my model. So out of the 7K guys, he is one of 3 I'm considering. We also have Keegan Bradley. We mentioned his name before. Vermeister and Shank to round out the 7K range. So for me, in the 7K range, I do like Jaeger quite a bit. 7,100, I think, is a great price. He beat Scotty Scheffler in the Houston Open. That was not a great course for Scotty, but this isn't either. So Jaeger has proven that he can win, and I think this price is outstanding. The other guys I have ranked highly in my model in this range. One is Corey Connors. We talked about him at the Masters in the video of the Masters, and we talked about how you have to have some love from Canadians, and he just finished 13th at the Wells Fargo. I think this is a good course fit for him as well. Benny Hanna, though, he's done really well recently, 4th and 3rd. I don't think he's going to win, but a top 5 is certainly possible. And if you have a 7,800 guy finishing in the top 5, you're gonna have a really good chance. So, like I said, it's a great course fit possibility for him, and he's coming in on a heater. So he, Connors, and Jaeger are the 3 guys I'm considering in this range. Jacob, what do you think about the 7K range?
Yeah, so those 3 guys I think are all in my top 20 field rankings. I think I have Corey Connors at the front of the pack among them, but I think I ranked him Connors, Jaeger, and then Bianon. I can never pronounce his actual name, but those 3 I definitely like. I also like Akshay Bhatia a little bit. I don't know that he's going to win this event. I'm kind of a little bit nervous to bet on him because he's been dealing with that shoulder injury. Like, he won the Texas Open despite injuring his shoulder on the last hole. And I was watching that and being like, oh, Denny McCarthy's going to do the exact opposite of what he did to me that time that we were just talking about when Nuggets won and I did not win. And Bhatia has kind of hung around and made the cut the last 3 events, but he hasn't quite contended. But I still like him enough that I could say, yeah, I could see him finishing top 20. So I would consider him. But I think Connors and Jaeger are the guys I'm looking at, and I'm saying, oh, yeah, these guys could definitely go top 10 in this tournament. It wouldn't surprise me. I like guys with power off the tee like Jaeger has, and Corey Connors is pretty well-rounded. So I think those 2 are definitely intriguing to me. I think that this 7K range has a lot of potential, though. So I like loading up on the guys from here to kind of spend up elsewhere.
Nuggets, what do you think?
Why are we mentioning the best golfer in this range? Ricky Fowler.
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry. 7,400 seems like a steal to me. I mean, the dude, when it was here a couple years ago, finished 3rd. I got a lot of course history. I mean, he might not be, I mean, look at Phil Mickelson. He won a couple years ago, and he didn't have the greatest course history. Or he had great course history here. But, like, same thing with Ricky. Like, he's got great course history. He finished 3rd. Like, how are we going to talk about this dude? Like, 7,400 to me feels like a steal. I mean, I love Jaeger. I'm going to play him regardless. Corey Connors, maybe. I mean, my model says Corey's good, but not great. Jaeger 16th in my model. But I'm surprised if we're not talking about Ricky Fowler a little bit more. I mean, he put up a good fight against Wyndham Clark. Granted, he kind of faded, but that was like last year. But I can see Ricky put up a good number here. I mean, at 7,400, you could do worse.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been the best this year, but if you're looking at course history, you definitely have to consider him. Butters, who do you like in the 7K range?
So you want to know who was beating Ricky on the practice courses here this week already? Jason Duffner.
Oh, man.
Oh, God, not this asshole. I hate Duffner. Oh, crap. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, Jason Duffner was beating both Ricky and Cantlay in the practice fields this week.
Interesting.
So
is that good for Duffner or bad for these guys?
Jacob and I are both higher heads in our hands, and we go, oh, crap, what's Duffner's price?
I mean, he's a great bet if you want to bet him for past winners. He's earlier today he was 350 to 1 on FanDuel for past winners.
Wow. That's again, is that bad for those guys or good for Duffner? I just don't know. But I don't know. Anyone else you want to talk about here?
I'll tell you again with Jaeger, just he's he was able to beat Scotty. That's huge. And coming in with a lot of, he's always coming in just playing hard. He reminds me of Eckroat last year, just coming in every single tournament, just grinding, just can spike at any time. He's just one of those no-brainer, and I don't even care if he's coming in with a bunch of ownership. I'll play him because he's just, if you're coming in with a lot of confidence, especially into a major, especially coming in, not only coming into a major, but coming into a major saying, I've already beaten Scotty this year, sign me up.
Yeah, I don't disagree with Butters here, but Jaeger. However, Jason Duffner's 5,200. Why the hell are we talking about a 5,200 golfer in the 7K range?
No, I'm saying he can beat Ricky.
Stay on topic.
It's funny. All right.
But let's see who there is anyone else. Connors, Connors. I've got some interest in him as well. Tailing what Jacob had said, just coming in with a lot of great irons and could also be the best Canadian on the board. There's another Canadian that I like here as well that we can talk about later.
The answer is Hadwin. Hadwin is the best Canadian.
It's not Hadwin that I was gonna select.
Then you're a traitor to Canada, and you should never be allowed back in.
That's okay. I've only been there once.
I've been in there twice, but we won't get into the border story where I was stuck there for 8.5 hours, but we won't get into that.
God.
Yeah, same here. Sanjay M, why is he in the 7K? Like, I get that he's won over in, what was it, Korea or Asia or wherever it was here this year, but proven winner, and he's in the 7Ks? That is a huge mismatch. I mean, just for the talent alone, I'm fine playing that. I don't care about the ownership, and I'm trying to not care so much about the ownership here this week, just because you can organically make a lineup and then make it just a few tweaks, and you'll be fine. I actually
don't disagree with you on that. I think Sanjay is supremely underpriced.
Mm-hmm.
Because
he should not be in the 7Ks. He should be way higher than that.
No, he should be in the 9s. I mean, the fact that he's 7,800, I think helps a Scotty build or even a Rory build, because I think it's gonna be like a Scotty, Sanjay, and then figure it out, or it's gonna be a Rory, Sanjay, figure it out, because he's criminally underpriced at 7,800. I honestly expected when pricing came out, he would be like 91, 89, somewhere around there. 79 is like, as long as he doesn't like bitch quit, you're good.
Yeah, the past 3 tournaments he's done, he's got 12th, 1st, and 4th. Now, well, the first was in, I think it was Korea or Japan, I can't remember. But still, he's been doing better recently. And last week, he was 3rd heading into Sunday. He had a bad round 4, but what if he had a good round 4? And he was able to, I don't think anyone's catching McIlroy, but what if he finished ahead of Schauffele? Like I think people would be on him much, much more than they would be now. So I totally agree. I think he should be priced at least 1,000 more than he is. But he doesn't fit well in my model, but maybe that's just something I have to ignore because the form is there and he's super talented. So, and he's cheap. So I definitely have to consider him.
I think when it comes to majors too, sometimes you also just, even though it comes up in a model, you also kind of consider that this is just a different playing field. I mean, this is just a different mindset that sometimes you just have to say, you know what, people are that you've got so much attention on you, especially on a major, that you're ready to step up to the playing field.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely true. So yeah, I mean, he's someone I'm going to consider, even though he's not done well in the model, but
there's a couple other players or a couple other golfers that I've been looking at here too.
Okay.
Gooch. I've been liking what Gooch has been doing on the Live Tour. I know that he's been talked up quite a bit by what's his name over at the CEO or whatever.
Greg Norman.
Greg Norman. There you go. It's on the tip of my tongue, but as he's been saying,
I was about to say your mom, but that didn't work.
Yeah, that works too. But he's ready to play the major. Sign me up, especially with his results. I mean, he's been a back-to-back winner on the Live Tour as well. I mean, these Live Tour players have a lot of motivation to play well, to show people that hey, we're not on some lower Division II golf courses, whatnot. No, we're here to show up and play as well. Brian Harmon, I'm not sure about him. I'm not sure how I feel about him. I mean, he hasn't been playing well at all. However, he is grouped with Scotty and Wyndham Clark. So you look at that group in itself, it's like, who's going to show up out of that group? Is it going to be Scotty, which is going to be the popular pick in that case, or is it going to be one of the other two major winners? So again, when you take Scotty out of that play, who are you gonna compare, Brian Harmon or Wyndham Clark? I mean, who knows? Maybe they want to start. Maybe they do want to show up at a major finally. I guess another golfer I'm looking at is Walter's probably favorite bet all year has been Seppelon Straka.
Last year too.
Yeah, you've been betting him a lot, and he's got that mindset that he can go out and win. I mean, he's put himself in the mini contentions, and it's hard to overlook him at any time. Anytime I haven't even looked at ownership, but if he's going low, and sign me up, just because right away, I mean, he's put himself in all those contentions, and if he's going to be a top 10 with that salary, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Højgaard was another. Oh, go ahead.
I will say about Sepp, he is notoriously awesome at round 2 and round 4 scoring. Like whenever I'm playing Showdown, I always play him round 2, round 4, regardless. Like he just destroys. And it helped me pick up, I want to say like 1,500 because of round 4. Like he just destroyed round 4 in the Wells Fargo, and round 2 in the Wells Fargo, and he just made me a ton of money. Like Sepp just has a thing of like, I sucked, I need to do better, and like he just goes out the next day and just like kills it.
Nice. Yeah, that's something to keep in mind. I had him at 55-1 last year, whatever tournament it was that he won. He had like a huge lead too. I think it was over Brendan Todd for most of the day. So yeah, so I always love betting Seppelon for sure. And he had a good run last week as well. He's coming into the form too. He's 5th and 8th in the past 2 tournaments. So he's another guy I think is a little underpriced. Let's go to the 6Ks.
I got two other that I want to mention, and then we can go on.
Sure. No, you're not allowed to.
You mentioned Højgaard, right?
Højgaard, yeah. He showed up at the Masters. He's a grinder. He's ready to show up. The only problem is I've been reading that he's been on the course and on a driving range just constant, like almost like 24/7, and it's a little bit concerning because you can look at that as like, okay, he's ready to grind, or is he going to tire himself out before he even tees off on Thursday? Who knows? But he put himself into contention at the Masters, and then he went backwards. But I mean, if you're looking at that, in that case, he's showed up already at a major. Put him in consideration. The last one I was going to say was Alex Noren. He's just been kind of showing up in contention all year, and a lot of people have been saying like he's been just bad bets. Well, every time he's a bad bet, he shows up again. So I mean, if you don't want to bet him, play him your DFS lineup. If you don't want to play in your DFS lineup, then bet him, because again, he seems something has just clicked with him.
Yeah, I mean he's done well recently.
I don't want to jinx it, but Butters is right here. I mean, like Noren's usually been my last one in a lot of DFS lineups, but Noren in my week longs has not screwed me like a lot of other golfers. Noren might be the safest play in the 7Ks. Like if you're gonna build a lineup, like you go Rory, you go yeah, that's the video. That's a long story. Because that
I
I'll
don't know.
explain that. I'll explain that video later.
Okay.
But anyway, but if you did like a Rory Brooks Noren lineup, I think you're kind of safe. I mean, am I crazy? I mean, you're 6,000 for 3 golfers left.
Oh, you got the double lineup, right? You got the double remaining, but
I mean, I am the devil, but that's a whole other story. So maybe you dump Brooks, right? And maybe
I think
you
you could
go
dump.
not.
Yeah, I think you can dump McElroy. That's just because I'm considering.
Well, I mean, you
yes-
can do that too, but okay. So now you're left with 8,000. I mean, now you can be a great lineup. I mean, look at that. I mean, now you're in the 8Ks. I hate the 8Ks, but like, maybe the high sevens. Now we're talking some million maker stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of just going. I mean, all right. If you just did Scotty and Noren, where are you at?
Scotty and Noren. You have 7,400 left.
That's a lot to play with. That's a lot
I
to
mean,
play around with.
I ain't gonna lie. My computer might fall over because the table might knock over. Because I didn't build that way yet, but I'm kind of liking it now. But then again, I think this is more of MME, like 20 max, 150 max. This is not like a single entry build.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I totally agree with
Jake, am I crazy?
No, I don't think you're crazy. I like I said, I really like the 7K range. So if you're looking for differentiation and you're looking to get Scheffler in a lineup, I think Scheffler with Noren, that's great. And then just keep picking at that 7K range, and then maybe you have to dip into the 6Ks for one of them, but you're feeling pretty good about yourself with a few of these kind of. There's a lot of safety, it feels like, in the 7K range. There's upside and then there's safety. So it's a really nice mix this week.
Kind of seems like ownership will spread out too, that you're probably safe to kind of play whomever. Of course, there'll probably be a couple that are just like stand out that are above on ownership. But if you're either not looking at ownership, I mean, you could probably just be safe picking any of them and feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, wait a minute, Butters. You said you had boots on the ground, right?
Not myself, but from what people that I follow, yes.
Okay, so WTF Tiger, because we're about to drop into the 6Ks, and Tiger's 6,800. I haven't seen one effing report about Tiger at all.
You know, you want to know my little theory about it is
Oh,
that
God.
maybe they picked an easier course so that they can throw him back into contention.
Oh, wow.
Are you kidding me? Is this like the Tiger's going to win this? And this is the Phil Mickelson version of a couple of years ago?
I mean, if Phil can do it, why can't Tiger? Why can't Tiger?
Hold on. I'm going to do that meme right now. What?
I mean, if this is an easy course and if he can walk it, sure.
Do we know
Put
if
him in
Tiger can
contention,
walk?
throw him in his Sunday red. I'd watch out.
Jacob, like, save me from committing seppuku because I'm about to bet Tiger to win this.
I would not do that. I understand the theory, Butters. I get it. I just don't think that he has the stamina to hold up over a 4-day tournament,
He probably
barring
doesn't.
some massive medical advancement that he's made in the last 6 weeks.
In fairness, if this was like 10 years ago where he was banging porn stars, then we could say, yes, he has the stamina.
I suppose that's one way to put it. But yeah, I think with the leg injury, I just can't trust him in full. I don't mind if you need to dip into the 6K range and you can afford Tiger and you're saying to yourself, well, if he's good over the first 2 days and he makes the cut, that might be enough to get me into the cash. I'm fine with playing him in DFS, but I would not bet him to win the tournament. I don't see that happening.
Hey, if him and John Daly are paired together on Saturday, Can we? Would he be able to borrow his cart or like ride with him in his golf cart?
Oh,
You
man.
might be able to. I don't know. I don't know the specific rules about if Tiger can use a cart, but I also think it might be a point of pride for him at this point, even if he's allowed, that he doesn't want to use it.
So there's a lot of discrepancy. I looked up his betting numbers. So he is on Bookmaker. Tiger is only 145 to 1 to win it. However, on FanDuel, he's 400 to 1 to win it. So a weird that you have that sort of difference. Tiger to finish top 10 is 20 to 1 on FanDuel.
That's it.
20 to 1, top 10, yeah. He's listed right next to Luke List and Andrew Putnam, Lucas Herbert. So he's in that range, and we haven't even gotten to those guys yet. I think 20 to 1 is kind of fair. It's not. I usually don't like betting top 10s because you have the dead heat rules apply. I hate those. But I don't know. Are you going to bet him 401 Nuggets?
There's some interesting things on DK. Tiger specials. Tiger any bogey free round, 9 to 1. Tiger hole in one on hole 3, plus 100,000.
They might shut down the entire tournament if that happens.
Well, a Tiger hole in one on 8, 11, 14 is plus 100,000. Tiger to make an albatross is plus 30,000.
I just envision like Scottsdale at the Waste Management, just like him getting an albatross or him getting a hole in one, and just people just throwing beer cans just out on the green. Just everyone's just excited. Shut the whole thing down. We're good.
All right, so Tiger, according to DK, he's plus 30,000 to win it, plus 5,000 top 5, and plus 2,000 top 10.
Yeah, so the number is better on FanDuel, where you get 400 to 1 instead of 300 to 1.
Agreed.
Yeah, so would you bet him at 400 to 1?
Yeah, I put a sprinkling on it, but I wouldn't like put my life savings on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, would you bet? Would you head to head? Would you bet Duffner or Woods?
Woods. Like Jason Duffner, like could die of a heart attack tomorrow. that fat bastard costs you more money than I can count. So I go with Tiger because at least he's gonna try.
Duffner's 1,000 to 1.
Yeah, Duffner sucks. And probably his own dick.
If we weren't
Did I say that out loud again?
We're certainly demonetized now.
Well, I'll pay for the difference. Whatever.
73 cents is going to make a huge deal.
My wife buying 5 of your books will make up for it. When we call
there you go. There you go. Oh man! All right, so
we'll just put it in the swear jar. Another one of Walter's books that I had to buy to compensate.
Oh man, you get an Amazon package like, oh, were you on Walt's show again?
It's all going Kindle, man. You
bought Kindle.
You have to leave. You have to leave a review for every single book that you purchase. Too, by the way.
You think I don't got 5 people to leave a review? I got like little like minions that run underneath me that will like do that in 2 seconds.
Nice.
I mean, the joy of working in IT.
That's awesome. Love that. All right,
we're not saying we're inflating your reviews. We're saying we're giving actual accurate reviews of your thing. They just have a script that they have to go by.
I'm sure they read it and enjoyed it. So
they did. It was a great 6 years at Penn State, and they wish they were there because then they could have filmed it, and then we could have made a great documentary about it.
Yeah, I feel like a movie could be made about it. That'd be really
I mean,
cool.
they did Friday Night Lights. I mean, if you can't,
I'm not sure if you could swim though.
So what?
I could swim. My midgets can't swim. Sorry, if I say that out loud.
All
All right,
right.
all right. Moving on. My wife's already yelling at me. It's my birthday, technically. So
Oh, it is. It's afternoon midnight. Happy birthday!
it is.
Hey.
I am celebrating 44 years around the sun. So, whoever the 44th best golfer in the world is right now, bet them because they'll probably win it.
I'm looking that up right now. I will get back to you very shortly.
Please, Jacob. It'll probably be Jaeger.
I think Jaeger's higher than that now, or like better than that.
Hoygaard's 44th in my model. What is
Okay, let's see what happens if I build a lineup and completely just put the optimizer at completely random, and let's see what the
Put it at 44.
All right,
All right,
Eric
let's see what the
Cole.
44 is.
No, it is not a solar power Cole. It is not Eric Cole, is it?
It is Eric Cole. It was one off from being Shane Lowry.
I want to bet both of them. Fuck it.
Okay, here's the
To win it outright. They're both. Somebody's gonna win this.
here's the 44. Here's the 44th random lineup. It's Moronk, Justin Rose,
Bleh,
Cam Young,
bleh. Scam
Fitzpatrick.
Young. Say his name right. Scam Young, you bastard.
Fitzpatrick, John Rahm, and Shank.
I trust Jacob more than anybody. So it's Cole and who else?
I think Shane Lowry was right next to Cole in the rankings. Lowry, I think, was 43rd.
God, I'm gonna vomit when I bet Shane Lowry. But
Wait, what are those rankings?
The official world golf rankings, OWGR.
I was looking at the FedEx Cup rankings. Eric Van Rooyen is 44th.
Okay, I pulled so many EVR cards for the Rainmakers, I wanted to puke. However, at $30, Eric Cole to win this thing at 35,000 to 1. I mean, for me, like 10 grand on my birthday, I ain't gonna say no.
I mean, EVR can't drive very far, but at least his irons are great. So I mean, that could put him in contention this week.
So he's
Who was the other one?
Eric Cole's 44. It's 400 to 1 on FanDuel. And if you bet $44 on it for your birthday, you can win $17,600.
Okay, so Lowry is plus 10,000.
Wow.
So I don't get this. How is Lowry plus 10,000 and Eric Cole is plus 35,000?
Yeah, he's 12,000 on FanDuel. It's a better number.
Well, I'm going over there right now to bet him because I have unabated and I can do that. But I just bet Cole, I bet Lowry, and I bet EVR because Butters said he had some numbers. But
all right, those are the 44th birthday gifts from us to you. If any of those win, we'll have to celebrate, and if not, well,
you're all getting $1,000 if they hit. So, whichever one of the three.
That's awesome. We'll be rooting for
and
those.
It's on video, so I'm not gonna lie. So if I have to pay my friends, $1,000 each, I'm not gonna complain. Because it's tax-free for you guys, I'm going to pay the tax. And in fairness, when the next major rolls around, I'll be in Vegas for the World Series of Poker. So
now, Cassandra asking, do the commenters also get 1,000?
Cassandra, considering you asked, I will include you, but nobody else.
That's it.
However, actually, in fairness, I will include Chris Williams because he did actually wish me happy birthday.
Yep.
So I will include Chris Williams and I will include Cassandra. Anybody else? I'm sorry. Love you. But next time, maybe make some more comments. Maybe subscribe.
Yeah.
And yeah, when we do the British Open, which I believe is next. Yeah. I'll be more than happy to give out more money. But tonight, it's just Cassandra and Chris.
Nice. Yeah, always love that. So congratulations, Chris and
Even if I don't win, I'll get my $100. How's that?
Kassan.
Just text or email Walter, and I'll send you $100.
Kassan says, luckily for you, I've already forgotten what the bet was.
Well, Cassandra, you're obviously a woman of the mystic arts, and you know how to shake your rump better than any guy here. So Jacob's like, what the hell?
He's like, I want out.
I wasn't ready for that comment. I really just, I don't know.
Jacob, you obviously have not lived in Las Vegas.
I have not, no.
As somebody lived in Las Vegas for a number of years and worked for the circus, we will just say du Soleil. We got a lot of this where people just would do random shit for us. But yeah, we respect everybody and we want to make sure everybody's happy. So,
Awesome.
That's all I could say under the technical NDA I'm still under. But it's only because they pay me X amount of money a year. That's all I can say.
Okay, interesting.
And it was a 20-year contract, so I don't really care. I just got to be really quiet.
All right. Well, before you get in trouble, let's
not get in trouble. Let's move on to the 5Ks and how much they suck.
Wait, we didn't do the
You haven't even done the
6Ks.
6Ks yet.
The 6Ks suck too. Why are we even talking about this? It's Pavon or Wood. Pick one, and that's it.
You mean Pavon that's going to shoot like plus 16 again this week?
The French guy cheats like a mother. He's the worst. Okay, what was that term we were watching, Butters, and I was sweating, and I was like, oh my God, he's going to screw up all my lineups. What was it? It wasn't it was like the term before the Porsche. Which one was it? It was the Pro-Am. The Pro-Am.
Oh yeah.
Because he screwed me in like 6 lineups. And I was like, I'm not playing some stupid, stinky French guy. And then he said like hide his ball in like 2 of the things, like hit, and I was like, guy's cheating. And it cost me, I'm not kidding, it cost me like $30,000.
Wow.
Because I had 7 lineups in the top 10. And then his cheating ass cost me like $30,000.
Wow. So you're gonna play him again?
No, I'm not trusting the French bastard. Could you trust okay? When you look at a player in DFS, if you can punch the face, do you trust him? And the answer is, he looks like my brother, who I used to beat the shit out of. So I can't trust him. He literally looks like what's the guy's name? The NFL quarterback, Flacco. He looks like Joe Flacco, who I just want to punch it in the face. And my brother looks like Joe Flacco.
He does.
And I just want
Flacco now that you say that.
I just want to. Well, look at the big ears. It gives it away. Like, I just want to punch him in the face, and I can't trust a golfer I can punch in the face.
Would you rather be in a forest with a bear or a French golfer?
I'd rather be with the bear.
Fair enough.
The French suck. They're a bunch of cowards.
Yeah, Can't Make It Equal say, Cassandra, you're rooting for Cole and Lowry, and also Van Ruyen.
And EVR. And even without Cassandra, Chris, like seriously, DM Walter, I'll send you $100. I'll send it to Walter, and then he can send it to you guys.
Yeah, sounds good. Make sure you guys do that. I like some guys in 6K range. Keith Mitchell is ranked really highly in my model.
Yeah, Killer Keith seems to be popping like crazy. I ain't disputing that. He seems to be the guy.
He's up in mine too, Walt. I've got him and Pavon are up there. So if you're
not Pavon.
I'm probably not going to trust Pavon because of the recent form more than anything else. But I do like Mitchell. Aaron Rye, there's a little intrigue there for me.
Pumpernickel Rye?
What?
Pumpernickel rye.
Oh man. Yep. Yeah, no, he's in pretty decent form. He tends to grade out pretty well in my model each week.
So when you have sex, do you wear 2 condoms or no condoms? Because
Oh boy.
with the 2 gloves that he wears, I can't trust this dude.
I haven't noticed the glove thing for him. I'll be honest.
He's a double glove dude.
iron governs.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the dude is super. And if anyone touches his shit, he like freaks out. Like I remember when he was doing the U.S. Open here in Brookline, and I went over trying to introduce myself. I was like, like literally, it was like I had COVID. Like the dude like freaked out, like nobody's business. I was just trying to say hi. Like I wasn't trying to like shake his hand. But the dude was like, the dude ran, I'm not kidding, ran from where the spectators were off the first tee and into the clubhouse and didn't come out till it's tee time. Like, I have no respect for this dude whatsoever. Like, if you can't even, like, talk with some cats, like, I can't trust you to win a major.
That's kind of weird. Yeah.
I mean, it's idiosyncrasy weird, right? Like, like if you can't, I wasn't asking to shake his hand. I was just going to say hi. You know, you're Aaron Rye. You're cool. Like you're on the tour. But the fact that he like freaked out at the U.S. Open and then ran back into the clubhouse, like we're here at the PGA Championship, like. Could you do the same stuff again? I don't know. I know boots on the ground, but like, how do you trust a cat that has such a fragile mentality? And when I look at Aaron Rye, that's what I see. I see fragility. I see. I will never put money on this dude, ever. DFS betting, never, ever. Maybe to make the cut. But that is like the longest. So,
yeah, that story turned me off of him. So yeah, I definitely.
I'm off my soapbox. I will now mute myself.
So anyway, no, in this range, I like Mitchell a lot. Kurt Kitayama is in the top 20 of my model. I think it's a good course for him. So I think if you're looking for someone in this range, you could consider him. Jake Knapp too. He was playing great 2 weeks ago. Then he had this meltdown on day 4, and then it kind of carried over last week. But he did grade out pretty well for me too. So I would consider him as well. But my favorite play here is let's had Mitchell 600. Jacob, you mentioned Pavon, you mentioned Mitchell as well, and then you mentioned Rise. There anyone else?
Let me double check. I mean, Billy Horschel grades high in my model, but we don't trust that anymore. That's like
I trust your model more than most, Jacob. I do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The Billy Horschel thing's been all year, and it worked at the beginning, but he's kind of been in a worse stretch. I think it was he won the Corrales Punta Cana. Wait, what was that one? I don't even remember that.
That was a
side tournament.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. He won that? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Did he not have enough hose in his train? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, he's always
how on the hose train. Train.
He's always due for some just one random win every single season. It seems like just out of the blue, like, oh, okay, Billy Horschel won this one.
I mean, he finished T7 at the Houston, and then did finish there. He could be a dark horse here. I ain't gonna lie. Like, this course could kind of fit him. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, he finished 19th in my model, so I'm very hesitant to recommend him. But at 6,200, you could do a lot worse.
Yeah, he's 10th in mine, and like I don't trust that because he's been in the
He's 10th?
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh, dear God, are we mind melding again?
Is he hitting fairways or is he hitting the rough?
That's the question. Because if his accuracy is there, I'm okay trusting him. But when it's not, you're like, oh man, then why did I do this to myself? And that's always a wild card.
When is his tee time? Is my question.
Let me check.
If he's morning, I'm out. If he's afternoon, I'm in.
Why is that?
1:29 p.m.
I'm in.
What difference does that make?
In the morning, Butters mentioned earlier about the weather, right? So if he gets pushed out even a little bit, right? Like maybe he doesn't go off at 1, maybe he goes off at like 2 or 3. He still has enough time to get his round in, and then he plays Friday morning, which supposedly is going to be no weather. And the other thing is about Billy, like if he's like locked in early, like he doesn't go out and like have to like put pressure on himself. He has to go out and just hit his shit. And I know I'm cursing, but I apologize. I just got a weird feeling like at 6,200, you could do a lot worse. Like who at 60? All right, pull back up this sheet. Who at 6,200 is better than Billy Ho?
Yeah, you got some sketchy players down here. Well, you your love for Hadwin.
Oh yeah,
I do love my other Canadian, but he's 63. At 62 and below, I mean, other than Luke Gloves, maybe Phil Mickelson, maybe, but he's old and fat. Oh God, I can't be on the Taylor Pendrith.
I like Pendrith, right? Oh, I like him a lot this week.
Yeah, but okay, put Pendrith, put Billy Ho, and then you're in the chalk lineup for Scotty. Just do it right now. Build it. You're
okay.
Pendrith, Billy Ho, Scotty.
8,200 left per player.
Yeah, there's your Scotty chalk build.
Yep. Or Mitchell.
Yeah, I mean, pick any guy in the 6K and you're there.
Yep.
And that's the problem is that like you run into this where or put in Pavon, put in your favorite French dude. Like this is where I kind of like, do I really want to rely on that? Or do I want some more diversity where I'm not relying on one golfer to pull me out of the muck? And
so I got a guy at 6,300.
You're a liar.
I got a guy at 6,300 who.
Oh, you're not playing Denny McCarthy.
No, it's not. If you look at the stats actually on the PGA Tour website, it's you're playing Nap. Yes.
Oh God, I want to shoot you in the head.
No, I'm sorry, not Nap. But I do have some interest in Nap.
I said suicide to shoot him in the head. He goes, I'm not playing that.
Whoops.
Now you're playing Hadwin.
Okay. PGA Tour website.
Damn it. That's what happens when you lose. When you oh God.
All right.
I love you, Alex,
website,
but seriously.
30 or better percentage at 200 plus yards.
How is your wife still married to you?
Better than both Rory and Scotty.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. Like the indecision. I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't resist. Sorry. Sam, I love you. You are a fucking saint. Just tell her I said that tonight, Butters. When you go, oh crap, Nuggets said that, and I go, yeah, because I realized, yeah. Oh my God, somebody said, I'm pretty sure Nuggets would win in the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked. Chris asked like who would win in a Royal Rumble match.
Chris, I'm gonna send Butters. It's not Butters. Sorry, I'm gonna send Walter $200. Now I'm sending him $300. You're gonna get $200, and Cassandra's gonna get the other 100. And do with that money whatever you will. But you're a faithful listener, and you put up with our bullshit. So thank you for that. But yeah. In this Royal Rumble match, yeah, I probably win everything, but that's a whole other story. Jacob would probably put me in a sleeper hold. That's a whole other story. Holy shit, Stephen Coy decided to show up. I love Steven. He's a good dude.
Yeah, we talked. Chris asked about that Rumble match when I was on with Tom. My money was on Jacob because he's the youngest of us.
Exactly. My knees are shot, and
my back
surgically
is
repaired.
gone. My back is gone. Has been gone since 27. Back in the day when I used to swim in college, maybe, but definitely not now.
No, so
I'm
Jacob,
not exactly in peak physical condition, but I'm a scrappy dude. I'm a brown belt in karate from back in the day.
You're the only one who's got kids. So
when are we coming into the Rumble? The question is am I coming in last at the Rumble or first? If I'm going in first, I'm screwed. If I'm going in 29th, I got a shot.
Jacob's the only one without kids, so he's number one in my books right now.
And for the record, Stephen Coy is good people. I've known Stephen at least 4 or 5 years now. He's with me on another site. I shot him the link to say, hey, come check us out. But Stephen's good people. He actually chases tornadoes for a living and gets amazing shots.
Oh wow.
So yeah, Steven's good people, and to have him in here is really cool. So he's in the middle of it in Oklahoma, chasing literally tornadoes to make sure people stay safe. So to that, Steven, thank you, love you, and good dude.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
saying, I think
if he wants to get photos, he'll send it to you.
Yeah, you can see in the profile there. That's crazy. Chris saying it's got to be battle royale between all guest hosts, so all 10-ish of you would start at once with Walt. The thing is, all of us are late 30s or early 40s, except for Jacob. He has that big.
I'm mid 40s now.
Yeah.
As of an hour ago, mid 40s.
It's true. Yeah. So we're definitely all up there, except Jacob.
So Jacob's gonna win, and I'll just do I just concede the money where I just bet all the money on Jacob?
He just fixed
I'll just take a dive. It'll be that scene out of The Naked Gun where there's two guys boxing and they both miss each other. They both fall.
Yep.
Oh man. Oh, that's
awesome. Did you take the white guy or the black guy? That was the actual line from the movie. Just FYI, I was not trying to do racist tropes, but that's what it said. I have $1,000 on the black guy because he's not going to take a dive, and then they both took a dive. Because the Zucker brothers were the best. This is what I hate about freaking PC bullshit. Is that you can't make a movie like Blazing Saddles or Airplane or Naked Gun anymore because everyone gets so offended about these stuff. Can you just enjoy comedy, people? It's comedy. There's a reason why they're laughing. Chill out.
I think the pendulum has swung the other way now, though. I think you could. I think for the first time in a while, I think you could do it now. I just who's going to be the first to do it?
Are you a Palestinian protester? It's my question. Walt just almost puked in his mouth.
They may not enjoy it, but they're not seeing movies anyway, so who cares about them? I don't know.
I thought Bill Burr's response to Bill Maher today was excellent.
I didn't hear
it. Just catch it on if you Google it, it's worth listening. Oh, okay. Stephen Coy says I've been chasing since 2012. Yep, live and breathe this stuff. Yep, dude's a monster.
Yeah. Chris says, "Don't worry, I'm not afraid of getting canceled." Well, no, I said I can't get canceled. That
is true. You can't.
They've tried so many times and they failed because I own my own business. I fund my own business, and quite frankly, I just don't care. I don't give a damn. So it doesn't matter. I feel like if you don't care, then you can't get canceled. Really. Sue says Walt blew out his back trying to get a B+ in his jogging class. Yeah. Well, at first, and then I realized that I didn't have to jog. I just duck out of class after signing in and then signing out. That's in my book, by the way.
So here's my question: when does Walter start the Church of WalterFootball.com? technically
whatever.
you're technically tax free at that rate. I mean, any church or religious thing, you kind of claim tax exemption. So,
Mhm.
I mean, you're kind of crazy not to.
I'm all ears for suggestions.
Not financial advisor, not giving financial advice. I'm just saying what other friends have done in the past to avoid issues.
Yeah,
Jacob's
I'm
like,
all
wait a
ears.
minute, hold on. Could I do that?
It's been a thought.
There we go. Chris, well, knowing that, why wouldn't you all just team up and throw Jacob out first?
That was also my thought.
For the record, I like Jacob. I don't like Butters. I throw him out first. It's always the Wisconsin people that have to go first, especially ones that look like Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Fair.
I mean, and let's be honest, Butters is willing to take a bullet for us.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, you see. So we'll shoot Butters in the shoulder. He'll be fine. It'll just pass through. I'll sew him up later, and then we'll just deal with Jacob, and then Walter and I will fight it out, and then I'll just take a dive so Walter wins all the money.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Even though I was the betting favorite, it's fine. We just solved the Royal Rumble. You're welcome.
Well, there you go. We've had that question for a while. Now we know.
Not the answer. Walter wins regardless, and we find a way to throw it to his way, and I'm fine with that. Moving on.
Sounds good to me. Anyone else in the 6K range, guys?
No, they all suck. Moving on.
So there is one. There is one.
No, there isn't. Let's move on to the 5K. My wifey is so pissed right now. It's my birthday, and if we don't move on, I'm literally not going to get laid tonight. So,
all right. Let's move on then. 5K range, real quick. We talked about Duffner. I'm not going to bet him. The top
EVR.
Yeah, the top two guys. The top two guys
him.
in my model in the 5K range. First is Austin Eckroat. Second is EVR. They're both 5,700, so you can play. I think you can play both of them, but otherwise, don't like anything down here. Jacob, what do you think?
Yep, top two guys of mine, Doug Gim and Eric Van Rooyen. So I would go with EVR over Doug Gim. Gim's cooled off of late, but yeah, if I have to play one, I go EVR, but I'm not super into that idea.
Nuggets, just EVR.
Neither am I, but I love EVR. He's like, selfishly, I just want a ton of Rainmaker cards on him. So I'm kind of all over him. I mean, I was all over him in my model. Now I'm all over him because I have a ton of cards for him. The other one that was kind of throwing me for a loop, and I was like, is that really possible? Hold on, where are my notes? Crap, I lost it. Jimmy Walker. Like, I know he's won this, but like he appeared really super high on my model, and I know he's come back from some stuff, but like, am I nuts to support him, or am I like crazy? Because like 5,300 for a past winner, just I don't know. Like, he seems to be coming back, and then he did that whole thing where he was like fighting in one of the tournaments. I forget which one.
He had like a round 1 or round 2 that last year. I can't remember the
tournament. Yeah, it was. It wasn't. But it wasn't last. It wasn't this year. It was last year, right? He popped. Mm-hmm. But my model says like he's in the top 30, and I'm like, I don't know if I can trust my model. I don't know if I can trust him. So that was the one guy that kind of threw me for a loop. So, I mean, if I'm crazy, I'm crazy, but please somebody talk me to the side of sanity.
I don't have enough data on him. Like, he's not appearing in any of the rankings. So
He's been I think dealing for years with Lyme's disease.
Yeah, I mean, I got Lyme disease, but I'm still dealing with it. But then again, I'm not playing 72 holes every week on end.
Yeah. Butters, do you like anyone in the 5K range?
I actually like Sorry, the thought came to my head. Oh, Chris Goddard. He just won the alternative one last week, and just he mashes it with the driver. He's so good with the driver and off the tee. And if it's going to be rainy and if the ball is going to stick instead of bounce, give me the distance with him. Especially he coming in with a lot of confidence after a win. I mean, maybe he might be a little bit inexperienced coming into a major, but I mean, all he needs is confidence, and he can maybe get there. I mean, what are you looking at when you're going down that far? I mean, you just got to pass winner. Other than that, I've always liked playing CT Pan. He just pops every once in a while. I remember, I think he was injured last year, and then he finally kind of came back. I don't think he's been playing very well lately. No, he hasn't. But last year, he just kind of came out of nowhere, I think late in the season, and just popped. And when he popped, he just kept going for a couple of events.
All right, so I feel like we could.
There's one more. Patrick Rogers.
Okay. Patrick Rogers, why him?
So Patrick Rogers, he has been gaining extra distance off the tee here lately, and he is a good putter. And those stats alone is kind of, and I played him actually last week at the Wells Fargo for that reason as well, because with the added distance that he's gained this year, and again, plus he is a good putter, he can show up just randomly. I mean, he's always been great as a like a showdown play or a round one or first round leader. But if he can get a couple of those rounds, he'll put himself in the contention.
Yeah, he's fifth 2 tournaments ago. So, yeah, I mean, he could get there. RBC Heritage. All right, so before we head out, going left to right, predict your winner for the PGA Championship. And if you pick Scotty, then pick who's not going to win, who's Scotty. So I'm going to say Scotty, but if Scotty doesn't win, I think it's going to be John Rahm. I think this is a great course fit for him. I think that, I feel like he's gotten a lot of criticism recently. He hasn't really done all that well for the most part since he won the Masters. I know he got second in the British Open last year as well, but he just has he's had some disappointing finishes. But I really like the course fit, and I think he can rebound this week. I like him as a bet at 20-1. So I think Scheffler, but if not him, then Rahm. Then go Jacob, then Nuggets, then Butters.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Rory as my winner. I'll give a second pick sleeper since, Rory's kind of one of the top talents this week. So if Rory doesn't win, I'm going to go with Sam Burns. I just have a feeling. I think that his well-rounded game is going to help him out at some point. And I think in a tournament that might be low scoring, maybe his dad's strength kicks in. So I've seen him at 66-1-ish. So anything in that range, I think that's a worthwhile pursuit. I think he's going to refine some of his form now.
Nuggets, you got?
Well, if it's not Scotty, I like Rory. And I'm going to go LRL Hatton. The dude just seems to turn on in these type of tournaments. And I think if you're going to look like top 5, top 10, bring back my Jaeger bombs. The dude just seems to be killing it this year. I had him to win outright last week. Obviously, he didn't come in, but he finished in the top 20. Jaeger could be the guy. So if you're not betting Scotty, Rory, Hatton, and Jaeger are my guys.
Sounds good, Butters.
Brooks. I think he can go back to back.
Nice. Okay, yeah. 16-1 on him is the best I saw, but you might be able to get something slightly better.
Yeah, he was 20-1 after that win.
Yeah, I remember you texting that, but I think he's been bet down. So maybe you can still find a 20-1 out there. As I always say, it's great to shop around. So those are our picks, DFS analysis. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I hope we have some success here in one of those 3 golfers that Nuggets is betting. Hopefully one of those guys gets the win. Please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. Slew with the 222 super chat. Thank you so much, Slew. Really appreciate it. You're always here to bail us out at the end. So we'll probably get demonetized for all the stuff, but thank you, so really appreciate it. So if you guys do you guys have anything to plug? Jacob, I don't know if Doug is still around, but then Butters.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Jacob Camenker. I will tweet out my field rankings tomorrow. Those will be over at sportingnews.com, which has a lot of other golf stuff this week. I have Preakness picks as well, horse racing. My favorite sleeper horse pulled out of the race, unfortunately, so I only got a couple horses there. And obviously NFL news and notes over there, and I'll be staying up to date on all the latest happenings there. So if you got any football questions or golf questions, feel free to send them my way. Happy to answer them if I see them.
Nuggets, anything to plug?
Nope, just Nuggets DFS. I'm heading off to the World Series of Poker in about a month. So looking forward to that. So follow me there. And whenever I win, 10% goes back to the community. So,
Awesome.
and also I give 10% back to the Boston Children's Hospital because of all the stuff my youngest daughter went through. She's now been through 2 open heart surgeries. Anything I do for them, I'm always in. I'll be wearing a Boston Children's Hospital patch on my shirt for them. Other than that, nothing else really. I mean, I do like Alex's Brooks call. To be fair, I did tail it. I got it at plus 330,000. I think was the number when I got it. So I do like that call for him to win it. But I also have him at top 5 and top 10 because I think he will pull something off as long as he's engaged. But other than that, I think everybody's picked some good solid people and made the best person win.
That's awesome. It sounds good. Butters, anything?
I'm just on Twitter on Butters326 DFS, and I'm just, if you want to tail some of the people that I follow, you can find me on there, and you can kind of go from there.
All right, awesome.
Might I recommend get rid of the 326 and just do Butters DFS?
Chris saying good luck at the World Series of Poker. Still gold mine to play an event there some year, although I haven't played poker regularly in a long time. Yeah, same here. I used to play all the time with my friends. It's just been a long time for me.
I mean, I played today and I lost $300, but then I went to the slot machines and, well, technically it was the poker machine, and then I picked up $2,500 in less than 20 minutes. So
nice. That's congrats.
Ultimate X, man. Ultimate X bonus poker when you're dealt 4 8s and 4 queens back to back. It's a good problem to have.
That's definitely. All right, guys. Great show. Always enjoyed doing this with you. Hopefully we'll do it for the US Open next.
Is it US Open or British next? Which one's next?
Well, US is first.
US is first, yeah. US is in July and then June, and then British Open's in July. So I know that because last year I was in Vegas during the British Open. I always go in July. So but Nuggets has to go, so we'll head out. We'll be back tomorrow with Kenny breaking down the schedule release Thursday. I might have a guest on to talk TV shows because it's the summer and might have some stuff to watch, and there's not much football to talk about in the month of May. And then Saturday, Tom will be on, I believe. So full schedule this week. Looking forward to it. Thanks, guys, for commenting, watching. Really appreciate it. Thanks, especially to Slew for the 222. And guys, great show. Like I said, looking forward to our next show with golf. So everyone, I'll have a good night, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.